Hey everybody, Moo here. This is going to be a video that you have been requesting ever since I released the SL6 variant. Here it is, Moo's top 10 SL1 international coin earners. Now before we get started, I will say that Prince Ali is in fact the best SL1 coin earner in the game for another few weeks, that is, because Line has openly come out and said they will be nerfing him. In fact, they are offering 5 premium tickets and 5 skill tickets as compensation to the Japanese players for essentially spending their time in coin and trying to attain him. So unfortunately, by the time he does make his way to the international servers, he might be an afterthought, which is really sad. I really enjoyed that play style. Anyways, it is what it is. But let's get started here. The boss, SL1 Jedi Luke, is still at the top, and he, as you can imagine, is at the top for every single skill level. Even though he only clears an extra small radius like all the other extra small SL1 clearing Tsum Tsum, he is using a lightsaber, and when you guys know that you can abuse gyro with that, it doesn't really much matter. And the fact that he has a 22 Tsum requirement, it is a little bit steep to get him going the first time around, but once you get that skill rotating, it's going to be relatively easy to recharge him. Now, the dragon I thought was a dude for the longest time. Maleficent Dragon also has a very high skill requirement and also a very high charging requirement, 22, and after that you only get 4 seconds to make use of her ability. And the thing with her is, once you actually get used to her ability, that 22 Tsum requirement isn't going to matter much, because essentially you're just cycling through the screen repeatedly. Whether you're choosing to make very long chains to try to maximize your coin, or whether you're gambling on the shorter chains to try to make time bubbles, really that flexibility is up to you to determine what is best suited to your play style. But that's another thing that makes her a little bit harder to use. You kind of have to get accustomed to the 4 seconds. And I am, of course, going into this list assuming that people looking at it are going to be relatively new to the game, which is why they only have SL1 copies of these. And that is why the skill thing is actually a factor. Oh, so much talking. 1 second. On that same note, because I'm assuming that a lot of people playing at SL1 are relatively new to the game, I'm also making the assumption that most of you are not going to want to invest in the 5 to 4 bonus item. You're mostly going to stick with the coin booster item that has played a little bit of a role in the way I have arranged these Tsum Tsum. So keep that in mind. This is my list based on my experience. This might vary widely for you, especially if you don't have some of these Tsum Tsum. And of course, even more importantly, the ones you're better at using. That plays a big role in this, because of course, if you're not very good at using Jedi Luke or Maleficent Dragon, they're not going to be the best coin earners for you. So always keep that in mind. Ah, yes. Where are we now? The Flying Brat. Well, there's so much to say about Peter Pan. He has a lot of things going for him. One, you only need 14 Tsum to charge him up. He's a vertical clearer, and also he clears in an X shape, which means not only can you abuse the vertical clearing trick with him, but you can also abuse gyro with him, and he does charge a little bit faster than Scrooge, which is why I rated him a little bit higher than Scrooge, again, because if you're not using that 5 to 4, 1 Tsum actually makes a bit of a difference. So Scrooge, very much the same, extra small, but he has a much higher coin multiplier, which kind of puts him in the same league as Peter Pan. He's also vertical clearer, which means you can use the vertical clearing trick to some extent, not really, because his clearing radius doesn't really go off screen that much, but you can use gyro with him. 15 Tsum to charge him up. I think he's a little bit weaker than Peter Pan on the average coin earnings. Potentially he has a higher ceiling for coin earnings than Peter Pan, but generally speaking, if you're in a situation where you are at SL1 and you can't use the 5 to 4, you don't have that many resources, you should go with the Tsum Tsum that's going to provide you the highest average coin earnings, not the highest potential coin earnings. That's my advice to you. Who is next? The Pooh that no one has because he's limited and he very rarely comes to a capsule near you. But Bumblebee Pooh is very powerful. He's quick to charge, relatively speaking. 15 Tsum, you get 4 seconds with him to make chains, and essentially clear the entire screen. And as you can imagine, that is certainly going to pay dividends, and you're certainly going to be able to earn quite a bit of coin with him. And he's high up on this list because needing to use the 5-4 is not as big of a requirement with the Pooh that no one has as it might be with some of the others. In fact, I might even put him a little bit higher, but it is what it is. We'll leave him at rank 5 for now. Now, here we go. The franchise, the rat, the mouse, the parade version especially is very, very powerful. In fact, I just got a question about why is the effect of entering fever time so powerful? Doesn't that actually hinder clock management? No, it does not. In fact, it makes clock management especially easy. And that is especially the case at SL1, because when you press that skill button with Parade Mickey or any of the Parade Tsum Tsum, even Lumiere, who's just a step below him, you enter fever time instantly. That is a huge, huge advantage. Most Tsum Tsum at SL1 are not strong enough to get you back into fever time with their skill alone. Generally, you need to make another couple chains. You've got to pop another magic bubble to get back into fever time. And having Parade Mickey being able to instantly get you back in there means you get more of those 5-second refreshes with him than you might with any of the other Tsum Tsum potentially. That is an extremely, extremely powerful tool in your toolkit. He also clears horizontally, which is very nice. In fact, it's a little bit easier to use than vertical. And you don't have to use gyro. And even though it's extra small clearing radius combined with the fever time thing and the fact that you only need 14 Mitsum to charge him up, that is a grade A SL1 coin farmer right there. And I definitely recommend him, maybe above the rest as well, because he's easy to use. You don't need any special tricks or any high level skills. Oh my God, this talking, oh my God. Just 1 second, guys, 1 second. All right, next we have the underrated candle, because no one talks about Lumiere, and I don't know why, because Lumiere is actually very, very good. I believe I made a slight mistake. I think you need 15 to charge Lumiere. And at SL1, he clears 15 Tsum Tsum at random and also gets you back into fever time just like Parade Mickey. This is an absolutely massive advantage. Because he clears 15 Tsum Tsum at random, that means you don't even need to have Tsum Tsum on screen in order for him to hit them. All you have to do is make sure you pop a magic bubble before you set off that skill button, and then he's going to hit those 15 Tsum Tsum off screen while they are regenerating at the top. So very, very good. In fact, you can get away with all kinds of tricks with Lumiere. If you just pop like 3 magic bubbles on screen and you have nothing left, it doesn't matter. You can still pop his skill and he's still going to hit all the Tsum Tsum he would have hit otherwise. Again, the same reason as Mickey, being able to re-enter fever time instantly is a tremendously powerful tool. I don't understand why not too many people use Lumiere. I think he's very good, very strong, useful for almost everything as well, as far as events go and missions, all that good stuff, bingo cards. And of course, Mickey's going to be a little bit above that. And you also have Parade Tinkerbell, who I think is a little bit below Lumiere at SL1, which is why I didn't really include her on the list. The next is the Master of Fire, the one who casts fireballs in an X shape across the screen. He only needs 14 Mitsum to charge up. He's very powerful with the built-in kit right out of the box, and he's going to do really well for you. No special tricks with him there. You can try to use the vertical clearing trick where you are basically attempting to time your skill use just right so you're hitting Tsum Tsum spawning off screen. It's a little bit harder to do with him because it is an X shape, not a completely vertical line. So do keep that in mind, but play around with him. He's going to give you very good results. And finally, the Mel Lion, the not so scary lion. I mean, he seems kind of scary, but you then realize he's like a scraggly toothed old tiger, or a lion, I mean. And yeah, he's not too bad. He's not too bad. But in this game at SL1, he's actually pretty good. He only needs 15 Mitsum to charge up. He clears horizontally, no special tricks, easy to use. Very much like Jafar, but again, he is going to need 1 extra Mitsum to charge up, so Jafar is definitely going to be a little bit stronger than good old Scar. Now, number 10, let's wrap this one up. I'm going to put Jasmine here, mostly because she is the noob-friendly princess. If you basically just started the game and you pull Jasmine, you are in luck because she is probably the best option you could have pulled. All she does is she clears horizontally, but she is the fastest charging Tsum Tsum out of the list. 13 my Tsum, again, horizontal clear, easy, no skill requirement. It makes it basically easier for you to earn coin without needing to know anything about the game. You don't need to really worry about, the time management thing, which is going to make a big difference. Do watch that video. It's generally linked at the end credits, and I think it makes a big difference anyways. Check that out if you haven't already. And other than that, I'm basically always going to keep Jasmine at SL10 or SL10. I wish she was SL10. I'm always going to keep her at number 10 on the list, on the international SL1 list, even though there are Tsum Tsum that are stronger than her, just because she's easy to use and does yield good results. And overall, she's probably the best for the beginners. So that is my SL1 top 10 list for the international players. As always, guys, if anything I said doesn't really resonate well with you, if you need any clarification on anything, make sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. And as always, thank you so much for your likes, your subs, and your viewership. I appreciate it very much, especially those of you guys using my Amazon affiliate links. It makes a massive difference because YouTube earnings are essentially zero. So, it is what it is. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate everything you do. As always, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.